What's going on, guys? It's your boy Andy, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about America's horrible transportation system. Okay, so look, I've gone to New York, I've gone to Chicago, I've gone to California, LA, I've gone to Houston, I've gone to Florida, and I can honestly tell you that outside of the big cities in America, transportation is horrible. Okay, everything from buses to train systems, it's horrible. In America, you need a car to go anywhere, right? So if you live in New York, if you live in Chicago, if you I think even, well, Houston doesn't have a good transportation system, but if you live in places like New York, big cities like Chicago, those locations, they have really good train systems, pretty much reliable transportation. Um, the rest of America, it's not the same. The rest of America, you have to have a car. Now, I've been to Japan and I've been to the Philippines, and you can and even people that gone to Europe, like in the UK, all over Europe, they all have good train systems. Train systems over there are great. China has a good train system. Korea has a good train system. In the Philippines, their train system is not that great, but they do have a good transportation system where, like, they have motorcycles, they have affordable buses, they have a whole bunch of good stuff, a whole bunch of good options for transportation in the Philippines, right? So, um, why is America's transportation system so bad? And I'll tell you, it is because car companies lobbying. America was number one when it came to train transportation. I mean, if you look at some old towns, like especially here in the Northeast, in Connecticut, New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, you will see some towns that still have those old train tracks that are like, dug, that are like stuck on the ground. Those train tracks were built for, decades ago because America was a train country. They were building a lot of, they were building a lot of trains around the country. We were going to be a huge like train nation, right? America was number one in train. We introduced the train system to other countries, right? But then what happened? What happened is that, well, here comes the car companies. They start lobbying, and what ends up happening is that, they start lobbying and paying people to stop building trains, right? You guys understand what I mean, right? It's the same thing with politics. Like, some rich people will start lobbying to prevent certain laws to go into place, right? Same thing with car companies. They'll pay certain individuals and certain people to prevent trains from being built, because then that way it will force people to buy a car, and that way people will be forced to buy a car. And Americans are supposed to have like one or two vehicles per family. Well, it's gonna be just one vehicle per person now, because America, we're not building families anymore. So keep that in mind. So America went from a train nation to a car nation. And then other countries, like after I went to Japan, when I see the train system over there in Japan compared to America, man, their train system is freaking god tier, man. It's absolutely amazing. It is sufficient. It is convenient. They have a train everywhere, a train that goes everywhere in Tokyo, in Osaka, in Kyoto. They have one of the best train systems, right? So the reason why we don't have a good train system in America is because car companies lobbied and to force you to buy a car. But what happens is that having a car makes you go broke, right? Every time I save up a couple of $1,000s, I had to spend that shit on my car fixing that motherfucker. I hate it, and so a lot of people in America, they have, $5,000 in savings. Their car messes up, they got to spend 1,500 to fix it. So it really depletes your savings. It really depletes your savings, and you kind of have to become a car mechanic to save money on fixing your car, because mechanics aren't cheap. And yeah, this is one of the reasons why America is one of the worst, has one of the worst transit systems is because they want to sell cars instead of building a reliable train system, because screw the people, right? Forget the people, forget, building a train system that's convenient for the average person, for, average working Americans. Screw that. Buy a car. Buy a freaking car, you lazy piece of crap. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much the reason. And that's one of the reasons why I really like Japan, and I like to live there someday. Anyways, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure to comment below. Tell me what you think about the American train system. If you live in other countries, talk about your train system or the train system that you experience in another country. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell for future notifications. And I'll see you guys in the next video. It's your boy, Andy's Red World. Thanks for watching.